Hey folks, Tracy here with Scrappy's Rustics. Y'all, these are so cool. I've always wanted to do a pair of cowboy boots, and I found these at one of the thrift stores we went to just recently. I think they were like $2.99. So I covered them in slick stick. They're not real leather or anything, obviously, they're like pleather. So I decided I was going to try this modeling magic stuff in molds for the first time. Y'all, this stuff is funny. It's like marshmallows. But the one thing that I did notice, it doesn't really shrink and it doesn't crack. I've used it like to model stuff, but I never really let it air dry. It's still to this day kind of like it has a nice crust around it, but it's still a little squishy in a sense. But it was very easy to work with. However, if you wanted to clean off the sides, like if you put way too much product in your mold, it was a little hard to clean off the sides to get it, with all that flashing. But it was definitely interesting. This is a mold from, I believe it's a redesign by Prima. I've had it forever. So I just used a couple of the different size roses and a couple different size leaves. And I really didn't know where I was going with this. It just kind of, I don't know, just kind of evolved as we went. So I'm using the Type Bond Quick and Thick to adhere it. You could use any type of creamy style glue. You could use heavy body gel. I just happen to have the glue right here. But the important thing is you want to get your glue to all of the edges because really by nature, any type of clay wants to shrink and crack as it dries. But like I said, this didn't really shrink or crack. It didn't crack at all. So it's interesting. I'll be excited to try this again. But like I said, it was hard to clean up the edges. But overall, it was pretty easy to work with. And I did dust my, I don't know, did I dust my molds? I don't even think I dusted my molds with cornstarch. I might have, I can't remember. And I just looked at the screen and I still don't know if I did. But I don't think I did. But I kind of did the same thing to each boot. One boot, I believe, has an extra rose or an extra leaf or a bigger rose, something like that. But they're very similar. Y'all, I screwed up big time on this. And I took a gamble and it was a happy accident. And I will explain when we get there. So metallics always look good metallics always look good behind black. It's called the mirror effect. So that's why I started. I figured I'd paint the whole thing black. Like I said, I didn't know where I was going with this. I knew I wanted to crackle them, but I wasn't quite sure how or what, or, what I was going to do exactly. So I painted the whole thing black. Now these took me over a couple of days. I didn't rush through these. I painted the bottoms. I painted the whole spiels. I ended up shoving some cardboard in there to help my molds, like the boot, keep its shape. So I used this crackle medium. Now this is a one-step crackle system. Y'all, I screwed up because I was going to use the cracking paste. So I covered this whole boot in crackle medium, didn't think anything of it, let it dry overnight. And then the next time I went to use it, I was like, oh no, what am I going to do now? So I gave it a generous coat and I dried it. And then I let them sit overnight. And then I was like, oh crap, I used this stuff. So with the cracking paste, there's a step 1 and a step 2 that you're supposed to use together. So the crackle medium is one step. You just put paint over it and it crackles. But I wanted to use this turquoise. It's called silvery turquoise, and it's a cracking paste by Pentart. I do carry all of this stuff on my website. However, I need to special order the metallics for you, so you can just email me. So I was like, you know what? I was hell-bent. I didn't know if I should have taken step 1 for the cracking paste and paint over and go over the crackle medium. I was like, you know what? I'm going for it. Y'all, it crackled immediately. Can you see it? Now, normally I apply the cracking paste with a palette knife, but there were so many ups and downs and it wasn't really a flat surface that I did it with a brush. Because you can do it with a brush, but normally I do it with a palette knife. So it's cracking already. So the crackle medium works with the cracking paste. So I didn't think those two would go together, but luckily for me they did, and the crackle is absolutely amazing. So an accident happened. Crackle medium does work with cracking paste. So hello, hello. Yeah, who knew? And I love these products. I'm really surprised that it worked as well as it did. Like I said, I was stuck. I didn't do anything for a couple of days and I thought it through, and then I just got a wild hair and I said, I'm going for it. Let's just, what's the worst that could happen? I'll just paint over it again with a slick stick and start over again, or black or whatever. So look how cool this came out. Now, you can see the black through it, but I actually think that look adds to it because I couldn't go so thick in some areas. Otherwise, it was either get the cracking paste thick and lose the crackle, or leave it as is. And I think leaving it as is was the thing to do. So I put an entire coat on the bottoms of the boots and everything with a Pentart Ultra Matte. And now we're going to go fill in our molds with a clear Pentart clear wax and a turquoise wax. So by adding the clear, it just allows you to wipe back more, because chalk paint is really porous. So if you go straight in with a color, the chalk paint's really going to just grab onto that wax, and it's not going to allow you much movement. By putting the clear on there, it just allows you, more movement. So it makes sense. Now, if you can just hit the high points with your clear wax, if you really want the color to sit in all the low spots, I just put it on there and then, take it from there, wipe it back. Now, with most of the paste, I usually use a dry rag first, but a wet rag will remove more. So if you go with your dry rag and it's not really pulling back enough for you, go in with that's a wet wipe, or you can mist a paper towel, whatever you have on hand. Y'all, this looks like a little weird because I had to really speed it up. Somehow, look at the difference. Isn't that cool how all the details come out, like when you add the colored wax? I just love it. But I video part of this in slow-mo. I don't know how the heck I did that. So that's why that one area looked kind of weird in the video. So I thought they were a little too matchy-matchy, so I decided to add a little bit of silver wax, just hitting the top parts of the leaves and the roses, just to give it a little difference between the, see there, I just think it just brings it out a little, brightened it up a little, and made a difference in between the colors, because that turquoise wax was very close to the color of the cracking paste. I just love these. Look how awesome these are, y'all. And of course, they're sealed. So if you like my style, I'd love you to smash that subscription button and turn on the bell for notifications for when I upload new videos. And check out our website at scrappysrustics.com. Thank you so much for watching.